Okay, we're live, people, on another Sunday, on another well, it's a holiday weekend. How's everybody's we just talking about holiday weekend, holiday stuff. My like I was telling partner here, Kent, air conditioning acting funny. It's been in almost mid-90s here. So how's everybody's 4th of July? Out. How was yours,
No,
kid?
I did absolutely nothing. Yeah, I did. Well, besides getting a much needed haircut, I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Didn't do
I
anything.
didn't either. Um, Dang, they must have changed some things around this thing. Cause now I'm showing I'm live, but it's just got my profile picture on there. This is a crazy mess.
For real.
But yeah, and I took some pictures of some for the fireworks were all in the neighborhood last night. Was yours?
I know. Oh man. Well, right outside my window, I didn't even have to, go outside or nothing. I could just see these fireworks just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like, wow.
They were all, I
Okay.
went outside, took pictures. They were back here. Friday night, it was back. I could see them out the window. I could have been out here or in the back window seeing them, or I could have been in the backyard. I haven't been like that to see fireworks in years. So it was crazy. Crazy situation out here. Well, today I
Yeah,
want
I have to say, I have I'd never seen fireworks like that before.
well, you mean out in the
Just right
neighborhood like
outside.
that?
Yeah, just right outside the house. No, I've never seen them like that before.
Oh, I have. I used to Wolf Park used to when we worked at Time Warner. They had them, so they had them like that. I mean, I used to sit back here and watch them. So,
Okay.
but what's going on? What I wanted to talk about is basically about we had talked about this last week about what's happening, the divide that's happening in the country, and does it actually filter in or go into, or does it is our industry like network marketing, internet marketing, direct response, affiliate, whatever you want to call that, is it immune to a lot of the stuff that's going on? What are your thoughts?
I would say, no, that it's not immune. Granted that, as you hear folks in the business say, uh, our business is based on relationships and based on people, of course. But people still have their biases. People still have a certain way up that they feel about some things, and this is not a criticism. Maybe it is. I don't know, but you bring your biases and you bring whatever feelings that you have about certain things with you. Now, of course, in our business, we want to put our best foot forward, so forth and so on. But I think you also have to be genuine, not only to those folks, to the folks that you are speaking with, or trying to get business contacts or business relationships set up with. But you also have to be, you have to be real with yourself, you know, on what you are willing to, what is your threshold. Some people's threshold for certain things are a little bit more flexible than others, and you know you have to live with yourself and the decisions you make, in not only in all aspects, but especially with those potential business relationships that you might have.
Do you think sometimes, like when you got a promotion or a product to sell, okay, that sometimes you may walk up to a white client and they may not buy from you just because of your ethnicity and skin color, would rather buy from their own kind? Do you think that may be a thing that happens in this business also? I mean, you know, just like some people in traditional business don't want to, you know, don't want to shop from a
Yeah,
black business, um,
yes, they do.
because, you know, they just don't. They don't want to. They don't want to see you try to, you know, move ahead. You know, there's always been this thing about, you know, um, this, like you said, it's a people business, and then sometimes you want to go, okay, it's a people business for who, what people?
Hmm.
Okay, like you said, people coming in with their prejudices, biases, even in the one we belong to, you know. Um, in fact, I heard some different things that happened uh, in our affiliate organization that were bigoted, prejudicial. Do you think sexism is also play a part in this business? Because you know, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Right.
Okay. So do you think really, you know, sexism plays a big part in this business, regardless if it's not the traditional corporate American business and stuff? You still, like you said, you still deal with people.
Yeah, I think it does. I still think even in 2020, when we like to think we as humans, as advanced as we are, we still, those same things we were fighting hundreds of years ago.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
we still exist, and and if we don't make folks, if we don't call it out and make folks accountable to that, it's still going to persist. And I think it would be disingenuous of us to say that those two isms don't exist in our business. I would be way off the mark if I said that no, that doesn't exist, because we're a microcosm of society.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people want to make it sound like it doesn't, like it's so much above the fray, network marketing or direct response, whatever you want to call it, that it's so above the fray that that doesn't exist. And that's BS, because you're dealing with people. And sometimes I don't know. I always question, why is it that there are so many less people, even in network marketing, especially black and brown, that are at those levels? Do you think sometimes there's no difference in, like, when you're trying to, you move up in your business? They say your business, but you know,
Mhm.
different. But like if you try to get promotion in your regular job and they skip over you because of whatever, do you think there's some of that in network marketing, but yet you have a little bit more control because you can go outside of this business after you really understand what it is and create your own stuff and products, and not have to really worry about that because you can't get fired from
Right, right.
it. Right?
I think that is the one advantage, you know, that we do have in have in this business. Yeah, if someone in your organization, say you're downline, is of a different hue. They may get up to that certain level quicker than you, and you put in you put in the same work, you've gotten the same points or point value or what have you, but you haven't made it to that level as your downline has. Then you can build another, you can establish another business line, like you said, outside of that, and you can still increase your, you can still increase your income level in that aspect. But
I think the biggest problem with most people in this industry when they come in this industry,
mm-hmm.
they have to learn. We have to tell them they have to leave that corporate BS at the door. Here's why I say that. All that corporate BS that you bring into this business, you don't get paid. You don't get paid by the hour, by the year, by the nothing. You get paid by all the value, the value that you bring to a market. Now, like I said, you go back to it, if you notice any of the events we have gone to, a lot of them have broke up into Chinese hung out with themselves.
Right.
Latinos, Dominicans hung out with themselves. Black people seem to be wanting to be this integrated thing. Do you think that watching all these other ethnic groups do this, that's probably going to be the best part instead of trying to integrate? Maybe we need to segregate out of that. I mean, I guess I know it's people business, but just from observation.
I think from what you said, I think at least for the next 2 to 3 years, yes.
To the next 2 to 3 years, or what do we mean by that?
When I say within the next 2 to 3 years, I think, I really do think that we as network marketers, especially as Black and Brown network marketers, we need to somehow define for ourselves what we as a group. I know we don't think monolithically, but when we saw what was happening when the when the Latino group was sitting together, or when the Asian group was sitting together, we couldn't, obviously we weren't privy to their conversation, but I think we need to have something like that. I don't know if you want to call it a guild, or if you want to call it a think tank, or something that we as network marketers, and I'm not saying it has to be with one particular company or anything like that, but we need to get together and maybe you and I and a couple of others were trying it back in the day, but maybe we need to get together and but at least form our own group as to what we want to get out of this business.
Right. And establish more of our own training based off our own experience.
Of our own experiences, yes.
Because I noticed even in the training thing that we belong to, if you notice the last few of them, well, I would say before this last 5-day challenge,
mm-hmm.
you notice most of the stuff that they were training on was so much geared towards women, white women,
mm-hmm.
Okay. And a lot of things they were saying I didn't relate to.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, and you know, you a lot of that training too now I've noticed is geared basically towards people who are just getting into this or coming into this. Um, there's a lot of things that changed. The one reason why I got into it, just like now, they're promoting this new 5-day challenge that's coming out. It's called
Right.
prospecting and what was it? Prospecting and recruiting.
Right.
Remember in the day they didn't like to use the word recruit because it sounds like you were getting somebody for the army or something like that. Remember them
Yeah.
days?
Yeah. I
They
remember.
kind of changed in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But the term prospecting has always, ever since when I first got involved with them, the term prospecting means you actively have to go out and talk with somebody. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like I don't say the content or conception of what that was established upon has a little bit changed. And see, I know it's going to take, you know, some people, I do not, this is my thing. This is where I kind of disagree with them on. Your whole idea, your whole thing for doing online marketing is get your message and stuff out about your business or whatever. It should not, this is the argument is going to always be, it's like what I keep hearing people talking about, you know, with school, that these kids are not learning because they're not in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, were they learning that well in the classroom? You know, you have to take for account how were they doing before the pandemic happened.
Mm-hmm.
You can't base it off of, oh, well, they're behind because we're not in the classroom. Well, were they doing that well anyway when they were in the classroom?
Me and my daughter, we had a conversation about that a couple of days ago.
Okay. Everybody wants to use this thing about you got to always be, you know, our biggest argument is always high touch ain't always a great thing. And now with what we're going through, and then we got all this craziness with all these spikes going on, it really ain't gonna be anything anybody wants to do. Okay. Right. Because they were talking about Florida just got another 10,000 day caseload.
And
so
did you see that mess up in Michigan?
No, what happened up in Michigan?
It was like a big old pool party going on, and they had a concert there. They didn't show who was at the concert, but everybody was in this pool. Of course, no mask to be found anywhere. Security guard was right in the pool. It was, I mean, I was like, really?
What were they?
It must have been a 4th of July beach party or something.
Was it predominantly black, white, the mix?
It was a pretty good mix. It was a pretty good mix of folks.
Younger ones?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
this is the problem that's come out.
18-25 group. Yeah.
Your teen, the 35-year-olds aren't taking this seriously because when they first came out with this thing, they said that it was primarily affecting people 55 and above. And the younger ones weren't really susceptible. They shouldn't have never said that shit because they didn't know what the fuck was going on with this virus. They had no clue. Even though it comes from the same coronavirus family, they kept saying, oh, it's a novel virus. And my whole argument was, even if something is novel, if it comes from the same, okay, let's be an example. You come from the Robinson family. You are going to be a novel new species out of that, but you're going to share some DNA type things because you come from that family, right? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Right.
So my biggest problem with this novel gimmick is if it would be legit to say if this thing didn't come from the Corona family, it came from something else. That will really say, okay, we don't know shit, but they act like they don't know shit, and it comes from the same. You're gonna in any species family that comes from that same family, they're gonna share the same thing. So that being said, when you're with the SARS and the MERS and all these things come from this Corona family, why can't they get to the foundational part? Because I don't care what it is, that virus, this SARS, COVID-19 still shares the same DNA of all these other ones. And I think sometimes that's where all those things lie, on finding even a cure, a vaccine, or killing this thing, because it still shares that same DNA. It doesn't mutate that damn much. And if the mutation,
anyway.
huh?
It shouldn't anyway.
No, and it is once that DNA blueprint is printed out there, it's there. Especially when it comes from that same family. It may have some differentiated, like you may have blue eyes, your daughter have green eyes, or whatever like that. That kind of difference. But on the core basis of everything, they share the same stuff, and they share the same weaknesses in a lot of ways. The problem with all this, when we go back to like with network marketing and people sharing stuff, this business or in anything, everybody wants to be on top of the grain, the top of the thing. And the reason for, you talk about prejudice, or I was watching something about, people need to make a differentiated on what prejudice and racism is. And I've been saying this all the time. Most people, black, white, green, misuse the term racism, because they refer to it as.
You froze up.
Okay, I'm here now. Are you there? Hello? Look like you froze up. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we both froze for a minute.
Yeah, this is internet unstable. What's happening is that nobody understands prejudice. Prejudice is nothing more than that. You may like Pepsi, I might like Coke. You may like Mountain Dew, I might like Verner's. Hello? Damn, you freeze up again?
No, I'm with you.
You may like Verner's. You may like Orange Crush, I might like Sunkist stuff. That's a prejudice. That's just a taste, okay? Now, when you get into the bigotry act of it, and the racism back, bigotry is basically, I don't like you because you're like you say, dark skin, or your hair is this or whatever. Racism is an act, is a group act. And the Racism Act was basically formed, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, to keep Black people on the lowest bottom area of the economic totem pole, and to keep them there, okay? It wasn't about to let Black folks have any shared opportunities with white dominant society. And that's where Black people seem to fail to understand what's going on. And some white people, they don't want to hear that, but the whole term race had nothing to do with their skin color. As I said, it was white folks, Europeans, whatever came to this country. You cannot discover shit that's already been occupied by somebody, okay? This is the biggest problem. This is why they're taking down all these statues, the Confederate and all Columbus and all that, because of what he did. Now, there was a big article I just talked about online about Cardi B because she said she was black. And here's the ignorant. This is on us. Here's the ignorant. I speak Spanish, so I must not be black enough. They said to her,
Okay, you
some
froze
black
up
people
again.
said to her that she was not black enough,
See if
or
you
she
were
wasn't black because
unafraid.
she spoke Spanish. I said, that's the most ignorant ass statement anybody from any ethnic group could make. What does speaking Spanish got to do with your ethnicity? Except for maybe if you're, because Spanish speaking people are all over the place.
Exactly.
Even Spain was occupied by black people, the Moors. So if you want to get really, for 700 years,
And
I even
where
made a statement that why we, you know, with all these people partying and not heeding to this social distance and the mask thing, it makes me wonder if you look at the history of Europe, Europe was under a black plague or a plague, okay? Spreading whatever around, millions of people died. Makes me think that we got reincarnated people from that time period occupying this life area, doing the same thing with this damn COVID-19, not adhering to the science, saying that y'all need to stay your ass at home. And I'm gonna be very harsh about this, and people don't understand this. The first time when this stuff happens, I said this once before, the dictator of the Philippines, President Duterte, told his people, if I catch your asses out after the curfew, I'm putting some lead in your ass. It means he's shooting to kill y'all. Their attitude was, we don't have the resources to be trying to track to see if you are infected or whatever.
Right, because they're not.
They're gonna get rid of your ass. Okay? I'm not saying that's what's happening now, but that is a possibility. If there are people saying that we have gone too far over the other side to try to implement all those type of acts that Europe and everything else do. So what do y'all think the next thing is going to be?
Man, I know you and I discussed this, but if we are not careful, if we are not careful, don't you think that the governor ain't gonna hesitate to put in martial law?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And the biggest problem with that is they're gonna try to implement it that still black people and brown people are the spreaders, and we know that ain't true. Because we're the ones that die off because easier because of getting infected. Well, who the fuckers are out here spreading this shit? And you ever seen a movie? Now everybody thinks movies are just movies. There's a movie with Brad Pitt called World War Z. Okay?
Yeah, I've heard of. I haven't seen it, but yeah,
I hadn't seen it either, but I saw an excerpt from it. Guys were in Huey helicopters. They had those, I don't know, those machine ammo that shoot 3,000 rounds a minute or second. And all they were doing, these people was on these beaches and everything, they was lighting their ass up. People don't think that is not a possibility, because if they get to a point where they can't handle the spread, it overwhelms the hospitals, it overwhelms this and that. That is a sure possibility. The only way you can get rid of this virus is eliminate the threat. You got to eliminate the host, okay? All viruses do is jump on a host and invade that host and turn it into a petri dish. Hey, it's just like, and you know, all those zombie movies, that's all they were, was a virus in occupying a body, which is a host. Right. So if you cannot if you don't have the resources to do a lot of different things, they're gonna eliminate. You could call that prejudice, but you also could call that survival for the many to eliminate the few. Okay, and sometimes we can look at a lot of stuff like this as if maybe this is what this virus is doing, eliminating the weak and the few because we have abused the earth. I don't know, but it's like anything else. If we go in business and like in network marketing, affiliate marketing, they do things to piss people off, to eliminate them out of. They purposely make things, people make things harder just to feed you out. Some things are legitimate to do that too. Other things are just a waste of time to do that for what? It's just like you couldn't do, remember in some parts of Amway, you couldn't, what was it? You had to be a direct to do this and that, but yet people talk about
we want to buy direct.
Yeah, we want to help you build your business. Well, I got to get there first. So how are you saying you want to help me build my business, but yet you said I can't do this because I'm not here? You talking out the fucking side of your neck. It's like I even said to me, I'm tired. And I'm being honest. I'm tired of hearing everybody talking about they don't chase money. Well, motherfucker, yeah, you making the money. Why would you not? It's easier for you to talk shit about what you don't do when you got it. Let me hear what the fuck you said when you was busted out broke. That's what I want to hear. I'm tired of the ones out here talking about, well, all I didn't chase money. I did this and that. Bullshit. You had to chase something to survive. People, we got to be real about what's really, we can't, a lot of people like to say things because it sounds good or it sounds logical or it sounds pretty, just like with everything else in the political realm. People always talking about so-and-so did this, so-and-so died for this. How the fuck do you know so-and-so died for this? Maybe so-and-so didn't know until it was too late. There's so many talking points out now. There was something they were talking about the vote. And I said, no, voting ain't about just voting. Black people, I'm especially talking to a lot of y'all and black and brown and older ones. Y'all got to get off the rhetoric that you think just because you got somebody voting, that's the all in all to everything. If I want to keep you confused about anything in the world, I will cause distraction and havoc. When we keep talking about the making it hard for vote, I can't think of the term, the word they want to use. Yeah, they'll do things like, even if they didn't have mail-in votes, the mail-in vote is not the distraction for you to not go to vote. They do things at the polls to piss you off. Mm-hmm. Maybe everybody need to come to the poll strapped and not, man, y'all gonna fix this shit. Ain't nobody gonna vote. I mean, it's gonna get to a time where we gotta stop with the kumbaya bullshit and say, look, we're not going back to my grandparents, my parents, and shit where they had to wait. We ain't doing that shit. Fuck that. Okay? We're not doing that. You either let us vote or ain't nobody vote. Okay? That's what it's gonna have to be. Did you see that thing that there's a group of black dudes strapped?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Black cami? That's what's gonna have to happen. See, everybody want all the stop this, stop that. You're not gonna stop shit. You're not gonna stop prejudice. Prejudice, racism, Bigotry is like the little punk ass bully on the schoolyard. He gonna keep fucking with you until you crack that son of a bitch upside the head. Okay? That's what the only way you gonna stop that. People do not listen to you until you bust that asshole. They just don't. We gotta quit being afraid because some motherfucker wears a badge and a gun. It's gonna come a time, it's gonna come out all out. And we gotta stop with that shit. It ain't gonna stop until they don't fear, as long as they don't fear retaliation, they're gonna teach. It's like I said, it's like a bully. A bully doesn't fear you unless he knows you're gonna fight back. And like they said, there was not a cop, there was nothing out there. When them brothers is out there strapped, black fatigues with AK-9s, didn't no cop say a motherfucking thing. That's the attitude that's gotta be changed. Jesus or whoever the fuck you believe ain't coming down to save your ass. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I just saw a video right now. This dude was called, I don't know if I shared it. I was on my Facebook. Hold on. Let me go see this. I'm gonna share this.
Okay.
On my Facebook page.
Okay.
Okay.
Believe it in God, which is blasphemous. Because we in the black community, like Richard Pryor said, black people, we tight with God. And I just don't understand how we as a people historically put so much faith into this thing called God, but yet for 400 years we were in chains. For 400 years we prayed. For 400 years, black people have a saying in church where we go, the pastor comes out, he goes, God is good, ain't he? And we say all the time. All the time.
God is good.
All the time. 400 years, all the time. The 60s, all the time. The 4 black girls that died in the church bombing in Alabama, all the time. The 9 black people shot by Dylan Roof in church, praising God. You would think if the one place you are safe, a safety zone, is in his house, and if God and the angels can't protect you in his house all the time, I've always said I've always been in a struggle with religion and God, because I know that there are more of them out there, but I think I'm this close, if I'm not already there, to being a black atheist. I don't know that I believe in God.
There's a black atheist.
I haven't completely crossed over, but I'm like Anakin Skywalker. I'm so close to the dark side that I'm starting to feel like my faith in religion and humanity and what this all is supposed to mean is a bunch of bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
Faith and humanity.
Yeah. See, and I don't know whether God is black or white, but here's my thinking. Let's just say, okay, God is black. And people, slaves are praying and, oh my Lord, 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 Lord. Freedom gonna come one day. Freedom is inevitable. We aren't gonna stay slaves forever. So you mean to tell me 400 years later, finally being free, now we want to go, he might not come when you call, but he's always on time. If 400 years is on time, that's tardiness. So if God is real, he's a nigga because he's late. God is white. You're putting all your praise into this white God who clearly didn't give a fuck about you either. So which is he? Is he black? Is he white? If he's black, why wouldn't you look out for your own people? If he's white, now you showing love to this figure who kept you locked up. None of that makes sense to me.
And you said you haven't totally crossed over.
No, because I look at things. I look at things like when I travel, and I've been all over the world, and I look at certain places, and I look at the beauty of certain things in terms of the earth and just animal and nature, and I go, it's got to be a God.
Right.
But then I pick up a newspaper and I read how a 4-year-old girl gets kidnapped, raped, and murdered. Now I know they say God gives man free will. If God gives man free will, okay, I get that. But like the mafia, women and kids should be off limits.
Yeah.
It's nothing more terrible. I have 3 kids. My youngest daughter is 5. Love her to death. I couldn't imagine what it must be like for a child to feel the terror of I'm losing my life. Where's my mother and father?
Yeah.
Someone help me. And if God can't step in at that moment and go, look, I know I give man free will, but this is a kid. All bets is off. So I don't, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Too much of what goes on in his life does not make sense to me. I don't know if I'm overthinking it. I don't know that because I'm getting older, I start questioning my own mortality. When you're young, you're arrogant.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna live forever. You think you're gonna look like a movie star forever.
Yeah.
Your shit don't stink. You're the best and the best in the world. But the older you get, and your back starts hurting, and you making noise when you get out of bed, and it was just pain on my knee, and you start questioning your mortality, and you realize through being humble, shit is weird. It's weird, man.
Hey, that's how I feel. I relate to what he's saying. It's just like, what was it in Medea movie when Cicely Tyson said, "Oh, it's a jealous guy." I said, what the fuck does he got to be jealous about? If he made all this shit and he's supposed to be made in his image, what the fuck does God got to be jealous about? That made no damn sense to me. You know, none of that shit does. And then people want to say, well, it's beyond your understanding. How the fuck is it beyond my understanding when we're supposed to be made in his fucking image? See, there are so many things, even in business. Everybody, I'm gonna be real raw. Motherfuckers is tripping over their swans about every damn thing they say. Okay? In religion, in business, in every damn thing. It's just like, if you catch what, go next week. Listen to them guys when they talk about your network marketing business is not your business, but yet they turn back and say your business when they refer to network marketing.
Exactly.
Either it is your business or it ain't. You can't walk around here and say, this is my business, but then you say to people, it ain't your business. Your business. Your business is you, not that network marketing thing. And they do this all the fucking time. Everybody, you know, I know it's not about being perfect, but you need to really catch what you are saying to a marketplace when you're marketing out to people, especially people that don't know shit about this business. You can't keep telling people, well, they're network you're telling network marketers need this and that, but yet you tell them, you say in the other breath, their business, like the network marketing affiliate is their business. No, you can't. No, that's not.
Yeah, because wasn't there a segment on there talking about knowing your audience?
Yeah, it's all that stuff. But if you listen to them, they tripping over their own dicks when they say that shit. Okay? They say it's not your business, but yet you say your business.
Right.
You got to be very fucking detailed about what you're saying to an audience that's new, especially that's new, because there's always new people coming upon this all the time.
Every day.
Every fucking day. And it's like what he's saying about religion, how the fuck, the mafia, they don't try to kill no men and women, but yeah, you let a 4-year-old get riddled and you talking about God's jealous? Nah, I can't, that don't, it don't. That dog don't hunt. Okay? As they say, that dog don't hunt. But that would, you know, and then why would you repeat the shit out of a book that was used to enslave your own ancestors? You got to kind of be a special kind of fucking stupid to even do that. Everybody keep on saying the word. The word of who?
Yeah, even my grandmother would say that chicken ain't clucking.
You know, I mean, I just don't, it don't make any sense. And I see fireworks, I'm looking out the back and they're shooting out fireworks again. Probably gonna be all this week. But a lot of things.
It's not gonna end until July 31st, you know that.
Oh, okay, whatever. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And when we want to say this person is that, and there's a lot of people, they like to hear themselves talk about shit because they jump on the bandwagon of rhetoric. That's what I should call it. The bandwagon of rhetoric because it sounds good. All the so-called leaders say it. Even one time, I don't know if I told you this story. First time I even talked to Diane Hoffman online.
Okay.
And I kind of criticized something she said. I don't remember what it was. And she said to me, do you always argue with leaders? And I said, fuck yes, if they fucking wrong, and I'm gonna call your ass out on it. That's exactly what I told her.
Yeah, I do remember you telling.
I said, just because, what makes you a leader? Because you make a lot of money? Because you at a level of whatever on your damn thing? If that's what the kids, you know, even the fools at when I worked at Time Warner, when all that shit started with me, that chick, the gay chick, the supervisor, remember her name? What was her name?
I think you called her Diablo. But
no, not her. The supervisor.
Oh.
She went to Chicago, not Diablo. Nah, not her. I told her, no, she was the supervisor that was gay.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about
Nadia. She wanted to talk some shit. Well, it was the human resources chick. And I told her, she said, well, she's your supervisor. I told her, I don't give a fuck if she's a supervisor. What's this supposed to mean? I'm supposed to respect her because y'all promoted her as a supervisor and she talking the shit she talking to me about? Fuck you and fuck her. Exactly what I said to him. I said, if you don't want to fire me, go the fuck on. But right now, neither one of y'all getting no points and y'all coming in here with some bullshit that even got no damn credibility to it. Now, if you want to go up to the big bosses, let's go the fuck on. Or other than that, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Okay? So I just said, you know, I don't respect nobody because they got a badge, they got this or that, or these letters behind their fucking name. I'm not impressed with that bullshit. And this is why I told, what's her name? I said, just because you this and that don't mean shit. There's a lot of people don't want to smell their own shit. They got their head off their own fucking ass. Okay? I'm not impressed by all that dumb shit. I had never been. Okay? And I'm not gonna start at 61 years old because you got this, you make 100,000 beans or whatever a year. Fuck, you can still be a fucking asshole. Really.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you know, people get impressed by all that junk. And that's what we're talking about. What the fuck is really leadership? Too, in a sense. Because that gets to be misconstrued a lot also. There's a whole lot of things that you look at and we're trained to be cooperative robots. And the problem with everything, even when it comes to racism, prejudice, some of us act like those 1869 slaves still. Okay? I'm talking about today. Some black folks still act like those 1869.
Yeah, say that again, Greg, because you froze up.
Okay, I said some black people today still act like them slaves back in 1869. I'm talking about right now in 2020. Y'all act like them dumb slaves back then. I would rather see you be the ones that revolted and burned down the ship than being them ones that walk around here. You're some other bullshit. Fuck that. Them days is gone.
Should be gone anyway.
For me, they gone. I have never been there. Ain't no fucking way I'm going to it. Okay? Take you all the fucking hell. Don't make no difference to me. See, we gotta stop. It's a mentality. It's a mindset. Everybody say, well, I got a child to feed. So what? You barely feed them, motherfucker.
Right.
Most of them. Most of y'all barely feeding your kids and you still say, I got a child to feed. You're working 3, 4, 5, fucking 6 jobs and you talking about, I got a child to feed. How the fuck you gonna feed your child when you always at fucking work?
Or here's the one I hear most recently in the past. When I say recently, in the past 3 years, I need this job. I'm like, you don't.
Why do you need this job?
because they will drop you like a bad habit if you're not performing up to their level.
Yeah, why do you need this job? If you needed somebody, why are you working a second one? You need that one too?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need that job and you working a second one? Obviously, this something is not paying you enough. So why do you need it?
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught to think critically in nothing we do. It's bad to say it. We have been made to think we're supposed to fear the white dominant because they got money, they got this. Man, fuck that. You can't take it with you if somebody put some lead in your ass.
What do you always say?
Huh?
What is it you
What?
a limit a hearse or what is it, a U-Haul?
Oh, okay, you don't never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. Okay, so you
So
can't take none of that shit with you.
that's you can't take it with you.
You can't take it with you. Ain't none. And in reality, I don't care. Zuckerberg, Amazon cat, Microsoft cat, all them fuckers came in here butt fucking naked, and they gonna go the fuck out that way. That means they came in here with nothing. They're gonna go the hell out of here with nothing, because they can't take none of this shit with them. See, that's why I said that shit don't impress me. You can't impress me or intimidate me because you got a lot of fucking money. Okay. So I mean, I'm just not. That's why I said I'd rather see some of you guys out here. That's why I picked some guys who may not be at a Diamond or Diane Hawkman's level or the Finale's level. I want to talk to people who are struggling, because what they struggling don't necessarily got to be my struggle. I like to hear what their struggle is. Maybe I can help them with the struggle. You can't help the ones that already got it. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
We always talking about you gotta be around the people that are already making it. No, not necessarily. Because a lot of times those people are not gonna tell you every damn thing. Okay? They're not gonna tell you all the stuff that they do to make it. People say, well, I like to help. They're gonna only help you they look at you as a competition. I don't give a fuck what a lot of people say to you. They look at you as a competition. Yes, we got competition out here. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't agree on them, not this past challenge, but some of the last two. It was too whitewashed, and it didn't relate to me. Yes.
Hokey.
It was too hokey. It was too rah-rah. It was too all that shit. And people want results. People don't want to hear all this mess about what could be. What is it going to be? No, you can't promise shit. The only thing we can promise you out here is that we can open the door. You got to walk the fuck through it. That's it. Bruce Lee said a teacher is not there to hold your hand. It is there to serve to the resources that are available to you, that was available to us. If you don't see the value of the resource, we cannot help you. I don't give a fuck who it is that goes around. They can talk the nicest shit to you, but at the end of the day, you got to get up off your ass and go to those resources to get anything done. And if you wait for everybody to walk around and hold your hand, we're dealing with adults, we're not dealing with children. Some children, we ain't got to hold nobody's hand about. And this is one of the reasons I feel like sometimes Black folks get abused, because we let certain ethnic groups do this shit. And we got to talk our truths and fuck whether they like it or not. We can't worry about whether they give a fuck about what they like. We can't worry about whether they are intimidated by because we loud or whatever. We can't worry about that shit. Be you. Fuck what they like. Fuck if it intimidates their ass. Exactly. Really. That's their insecurity. I'm not here to make you all that secure. I'm just here to give you the truth, and that's the fuck it. The other stuff is whether you want to take it, run for it, and go through that door. It's like anytime when we turn in martial arts. I have a friend, good friend of mine, he was always wondering why you guys are moving vans and why you guys are doing, because we trained. We went to practice. It's like any damn thing. You got to get off your ass and do it. Ain't no excuse because you working a job. I don't care if you're working 12 hours. You're going to have to put some time in your business if you want to get the fuck out of it. That's the bottom line. I don't care if you're working 15 jobs. Let one of them damn jobs go. Because I guarantee you ain't making down money if you're working that many jobs. You're only 24 hours a day, and it's 12 of them damn hours. You can't be up making no money. Come on, people. Let's be real. Keep it real. They don't like a lot of black people because why we get fucked is because of the circumstances we allow ourselves to be into. You have to be willing, as you say, there's people who died for our right to vote. Sometimes you got to be willing to take motherfuckers to fucking hell just for the right to be here, even if you don't make it here. Sometimes it's a message that got to be sent.
Well, it's just like you were saying, you know, it's sometimes, and you've heard this expression more than a little, but I'm going to bring it up again. There's nothing worse in any society than a person with nothing to lose. It doesn't take 10 people to be that way. All it takes is one person.
Yeah.
Sometimes we, like you said, sometimes we as black folks, we have to adapt that mentality that, hey, if you're not liking what you're doing, what are you going to do to change it?
Yeah, you're gonna have to change it because they ain't gonna do it for you. They don't give a fuck.
And as you say near the end of when you end this broadcast, and you will again tonight, that that you're gonna have to change some things. You're gonna have to change some things. Okay. Yeah. And it's not gonna be easy, and it's not supposed to be. If it's something you want that bad enough, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to make that change happen?
Let me put it this way. See, all you people that are so into the word and God and all this other stuff, let's look at it from this standpoint. What if all this is what he put in front of you to do that? Maybe God wants you to go out and kick some motherfucking ass. See, you guys are so busy been taught, some of y'all, that you waiting for some man to float down from the sky and catch your asses up and save you. 61 years I heard that shit, and not one motherfucking time nobody's been saved. Nobody came down there to save George Floyd when that motherfucker had his knee on his neck. Where was Jesus then? Where was Jesus when Brianna in Kentucky got riddled with 8 fucking bullets because some fucking sucio puercos came here and had the wrong fucking house? Where was Jesus then? Yeah. The guy in Atlanta that got shot because of some pinchy cabron gringos didn't like him and they blew him away over that shit. See, don't tell me about no goddamn somebody coming to catch you up or some Jesus. That motherfucker wasn't there then. Now. So, you know, I don't want to hear that shit. And I'm directing it to some of y'all that keep sending me all that bullshit about blessed. I don't want to hear that shit. Where was he then? That's my point. Where was he then? Don't give me this shit about his plan. His plan, then you might as well say he's a murderous motherfucker himself. Okay? His plan.
Yeah, if this is all about prophecy, I fail to see the prophecy in that.
Nah, I don't see. Yeah, and black women, stop raising your kids, your black boys to be gentle giants. They can't afford to be gentle giants. There's no fucking way George Floyd should have died on, and he's 6'5". He should have broke that son bitch's neck. 6'5". He should have been able to take that motherfucker out. What's his name in New York? Eric Garner. There's no way he should have been killed that way. He should have been able to snap that motherfucker's neck too. There's no way. I don't see that. I knew people that were their size that would have handled them fuckers right then and there. It ain't got nothing to do. Everybody always worry about whether somebody gonna pull a gun. Guns ain't always the equalizer, people. You don't know who when you fuck with people. You don't know who the hell you fucking with. Just because you got a gun on you, you got to get that motherfucker out. Unless you're gonna be perched 1,000 yards away with a sniper rifle. That's the only way. Because every time, you know, that don't always mean, maybe you guys need to quit running and confront that motherfucker. If you're gonna go with some huevos.
Go out swinging.
That's right.
As the old baseball term would go, you know.
I mean, it's gonna come a time because they don't respect you because you let them abuse you because of fucking badge and a gun. I ain't talking about all cops are like that. I'm talking about the fucking school ones, the dirty ones, the dirty pigs, the dirty cops. They need to be handled. We ain't talking about all cops. We're talking about the ones that needs to be a cleansing in the damn police force all across the United States.
But I'll say this, Greg, until folks come through those police unions, those are the ones that are really, you know, you've got to kind of crack the code to. Because those police unions, you know, they're going to fight like tooth and nail. And you know why they fight like tooth and nail? Because they know unemployed cops don't pay union dues.
Well, you know what? The biggest problem with that shit is their damn blue code. They like, you know, they're like a fucking mob. Even the mob has to go to the council to approve a hit. Okay? And if you do not get approval from the top underboss or the bosses, you the next one they gonna smoke. Okay? Even the mafia has a damn code of honor. Them some bitches ain't got no kind of code. They just out there like fucking Wild West motherfuckers. What if y'all want that, well, maybe that's what we should be. Honestly, because it's like that's all it is. They just shoot motherfuckers because they can. And I felt like, you know, I remember, I've said this before. I remember when the Irish Republic Army was doing when the British was fucking with them. Now, when we had Michael on here about a month ago, he was talking about, well, that I said, no, Irish Republic Army was attacking without warning. They were like organized terrorists. Let's put them like, they were like the Al-Qaeda, okay? The British got the fuck out of there because they got tired of getting blown the fuck up. They got tired of being sitting in a cafe and that motherfucker go up and smoke. That's what they got tired of. See, a lot of y'all don't remember that was the 70s. That's one thing I remember about the 70s. So I don't remember shit in the 60s. I was a kid. You know, I was born 59. I don't remember a damn thing in the 60s. The 60s are like blurred. All my impressions and development really came in the 70s on. 60s don't mean shit to me. I remember Green Hornet and all that other shit like that. But I mean, you know, I even forgot about Green Hornet when Bruce Lee came on the scene in the 70s. I didn't connect him to the Green Hornet at the time until afterwards. I was like, oh, okay, that's what that was. But you know, that's why I said the 60s was like I was a kid, 8, 9, 10 years old. No, at 67, I was between 7 and 8 years old. So it was like I was born in 59. I just don't remember. I don't have a lot of impressions of the 60s at all. Music, nothing. I'll be honest. I hear people, you don't remember that? No, I don't. If I heard some of the music, it was in the 70s that I heard some of that 60s stuff. Okay? And back then, it was probably redone, remixed or whatever for that time period, for that decade. But as far as remembering stuff right then, I have no recollection of it. It's like 60s don't mean shit to me. I mean, I got, like I say, here or there, but when it comes to pop culture, 70s.
Right.
70s is
Right.
that 70s is my era of pop culture and all that. I don't even remember nothing about the damn Beatles that much.
Okay.
Everybody think, well, you old, I may be, but like I said, my recollection of stuff is like not back then. So I don't relate to the 60s.
Mhm.
I got a friend that's like 4 or 5 months older than me, but he remembers the 60s. I said, how the fuck you remember the 60s? But you can't remember shit right now. I'm like, how do you remember the 60s? You was a young kid then. I just didn't, I might heard the music. See, I grew up you could say I didn't grow up in a traditional Black family when it came to music. I was brought up around a whole lot of eclectic type music because my mother, my dad, where they came from, and all the other stuff. I didn't hear a lot of stuff. I mean, I heard the Motown and stuff, but that wasn't an impressional type of period for me. Old Town and all that didn't. The only time I liked anything that came the R&B, I liked Earth, Wind, and Fire, but that was the 70s.
Right.
Okay? And I keep it telling, 70s.
I'll go to my grave saying that the 70s was the best period of music ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, the 70s. 70s was the most impressionable time for me as far as anything, because that's when I got into the martial arts. I got exposed to Bruce Lee for who he was back then. That's one of my biggest influences about anything in life. Music, that was, high school, then the disco, and then going into the late 70s, early 80s, the dance British trend, Duran Duran and all that time. That's what I grew up with here. And you go into the late 70s, early 80s, that's my 20s. That's the kind of music that formed who I am. Now, I know you late 60s, so you got into that era when the early era of the hip hop.
Well, let me because 60, I can say it, 67 I was born. I really didn't have a first impression of music until like 72, 73. And what I heard my dad play, and heard when he had me, my dad play, heard my uncles play. It was, I cut my teeth on James Brown. That loud, I'm black and I'm proud. That was one of the first songs I heard and can remember. And then my uncle, I had one uncle who was into Al Green. At that time, I couldn't stand Al Green because that's all he played. But now, being older, I'm like, yeah. And
I still wasn't.
Then of course the Elements.
Yeah.
And then Earth, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Then my brother was big on the Commodores, but he was also a big Chuck Mangione fan. You remember that jazz song he had, So Good?
Yeah. Damn, I just got a thing.
Okay.
A Broadway star Nick Cordero died.
Oh man, they had amputated his leg too. They thought that would stem because
he got the corona.
Yeah, the virus had affected his leg, so they said that he could never use that leg again.
Yeah, he died.
And well, his wife was on one of the morning programs. I started talking, and she said, "Well, he's hanging in there. We're trying to keep him encouraged. We told him that he's lost his leg, but wow, man, I'm sorry to hear that."
Yeah, I just got this message on my phone.
Okay.
I didn't know who he was. So.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a big. I mean, I didn't hear him until the virus thing, and I was like, oh, he was a pretty good stage and Broadway actor, from what I hear.
It's a lot of people getting taken out by this damn thing. And, you know,
people, I mean, I don't see how a mask is a big threat to anyone's rights. And now, if you have an asthmatic problem, okay, that's a medical issue. But if it's just something that, you know, if you go into the store, wear a mask.
I don't know. You know what? I got into this thing with a friend of mine.
What is the big deal?
I got into this thing about, you know, all these people, and it seems like it's more white folks that say this shit than anybody else I hear, but these people don't understand. You ain't got no rights. I'm gonna tell this, I'm gonna say this again. For those who got this burr up your ass about rights. Your rights don't mean a goddamn thing if it's affecting my family, kids' family, everybody else. Your rights don't mean shit, especially in stuff like this. I don't give a fuck about your rights. Okay? One thing you gotta understand about rights is not just based off of your rights alone. It's everybody that has to have the rights. Once that right is affected by one person, and you need to obey some things that keeps us all safe, and you fail to do it, then nobody has no rights. Okay? Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit about the Constitution. I don't give a shit about your diplomatic whatever fuck. Because if your damn Germany ass, Petri ass, motherfucking ass, dish ass is gonna spread shit around here, you need to be taken the fuck out, really. If you ain't gonna do it. That's the way I feel about it. Because all you doing is spreading this shit around here, and you can't sit your ass home or whatever, and you spread it. You're gonna go out partying with some friends, and you're gonna bring that shit to your grandparents, your uncles, aunt, kids. I mean, you don't have no respect for those type of people in your life. And you're just gonna bring that shit back. And they shouldn't let all them people that are partying down at Myrtle Beach, they need to quarantine their ass now. Really. They need not to let them go back to, because all they're gonna do is go back to wherever the fuck they come from, and then it's gonna cause another surge wherever. You don't know, all them people coming from all over the country. They're asking you to be quarantined. They're gonna end up having to get an island somewhere. I had a friend of mine who was a roommate. I went to high school with him. He was a Navy SEAL. He said they got an island. You know, when they have some guys end up MIA, missing or whatever, sometimes they ain't MIA. Okay. They get a venereal disease that penicillin doesn't even, it laughs at penicillin. Okay. Yep. He said he's seen soldiers piss chunks out of their penis.
What?
Yes. I tell you, I'll lie to you not. And they send them fuckers to an island to die. Because they got no cure for that stuff. And there's no sense of bringing them to the mainland back to stateside because they can spread that shit. It's going to come to a time where if they don't do something with some of these people with this virus, and if it's mutating like somebody said, prime example, this actor loses his leg over it, that's what's going to end up having to happen. They're going to have to take some of these people, round some of these fuckers up and send them to some remote island to just let them die. Because it's not worth, it's going to cost, you think the economy is fucked up because of businesses are closing? Shit. You spend all this money trying to quarantine, separate, distance, doing all this shit. That's gonna cost you, on top of what this costing in business now, the cheapest way they're gonna end up having to do it, they're gonna have to extradite some of these fuckers to another place off the mainland. And like I said, that's what they send some of these guys They catch this stuff on the PI
Mhm.
because it's not. They don't have a cure for it. And if they ain't got a cure for this shit, what do you think they're gonna do? People need to grow up and wake up. See, America has been so much of quote unquote free, and most of its underlining freedom is what it's been underlining, because most people say, well, I've been all over the world and so-and-so's doing. I hear President Obama said this. I said, okay, fine. But at least I'd rather know that I'm getting fucked than to think everything's all right, but then in the underlining, that's where y'all doing shit. See, there's a difference.
Mhm.
There's a total difference when you can see and deal with you're getting fucked over. Okay, they're doing this. You can deal with that. But when you think it's one thing and they're doing something else, that's when it's dangerous. And people don't look at shit that way because we ain't taught to be critical. We ain't taught to be critical about nothing. We taught to just follow.
That's very true. Very true.
We just with step for a while. It's like on MLSP. Now they call these crazy ass white women that call cops on black people and pull guns and shit. Like at Taco Bell's or wherever it was at. They got a nickname called them Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to people, I put a post, I don't know if you saw it. When my mother was pregnant with me, she said if I was gonna be a girl, that's what she was gonna name me. Okay? And I used to date a Karen, okay? I dated a Karen. So you
Karen's in your blood.
I said, well, what if the next crazy ass white chick pulls a gun? What if her real name is Karen? You gonna say, well, that is my name. I mean, it's just crazy. First the name was Becky. I know a Becky too. Okay? I said, black folks come up with all these names. Becky and Karen. I said, what if that's their name?
Right.
So I mean, what, it's just like, when black people want to call black folks nigger and all that other stuff, that ain't a name, but sometimes some of them act like it,
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, but that's not synonymous to black folks. Anybody can be a nigger. Yeah. Okay, that's just an ignorant person.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't realize and understand that mess either.
Right.
I don't know why. For some reason, my blog from 2 weeks ago, I don't know if everybody's just getting around to seeing it, but I've been seeing a lot of people on a blog that I sent out 2 weeks about email marketing. It's been getting a lot of traction on LinkedIn. I don't know.
Maybe that's the cycle.
It's crazy, but we gotta. There's a mindset that gotta change. There's a mindset that gotta change on. Well, it should change on both, but the mindset of black folks are gonna have to change.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna be able to be competitive and live, and you can't walk around here living in fear because of some cop in a car pull over. Fuck that. No. You just gotta be aware. That's why, they got kids in Africa now training in wushu, Chinese kung fu. They training them. Every black male should have at least 5 or 6 years of martial arts training in school. When they get to go to the elementary school, there should be a prerequisite to learn to defend yourself against brutality. Okay? Because it's a mindset that you got to develop. And martial arts is a mindset. You need to be trained. They don't give a shit if you are the jovial, happy-go-lucky black guy. They don't give a fuck. So was Eric Gardner. I guess so was George Floyd. I didn't know any of these people, but when you that big and that, you know, and there's no way they should have been brutalized that way. I don't feel.
Nope.
So, wow. It's 10:25. I guess we can end this
Yeah.
intense sunset Sunday.
Yeah, we got into our feelings, but you know,
Well,
hey,
sometimes you got to get into your feelings.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and that's why I said I'm really kind of getting tired of a lot of stuff that I hear, even in the industry, and some of the shit that they say, because it doesn't reflect everybody. And the problem with a lot of these folks is that they think because it reflects them, that it reflects everybody, and that's not the case. But we shouldn't be thinking that they should cater to everybody in that aspect, because that's not there. I even got into a thing with Mark Harbert about something.
Okay.
You know, I said, I don't remember what it said, but I'm gonna say, well, you can't. That's probably not your experience, but you're gonna have to have the empathy to understand that shit.
Mm.
You know, I guess him and Larry, what's his name? I think you know him, Larry Goodman, Larry.
Larry Beecham.
Beecham, yeah, they kind of good friends. I saw him on a video about a month ago. Huh?
That I didn't know.
I didn't know either. Well, you know, Mark Harbert moved up to Ohio, him and his family.
Yeah, you told me that.
He's down. He's in between Cincinnati and Dayton, I think.
Okay.
I think he moved this weekend, or maybe it was last weekend. He moved from Chile to Florida to Ohio. I don't know why he moved to Ohio. And then down in that area of all places.
And I'm assuming that's where his family's from.
Well, no, his dad was living up in Detroit, up in the Michigan area. His dad passed like in the last, year or 6 months or so?
Okay.
So I don't know. His mom's gone too. His mom died before his dad did, so I don't know.
Okay.
But he never really, he answered me back about being on the show one time, but something about his church or something, but he never answered me back about it. So I don't care.
Okay.
You know, that's
right.
all right. We're probably too deep for him to deal with like that. Now all they want to do is talk about their business. This is what I feel like. Business is always about helping people and a lot of other stuff, and not all that secular bullshit. Everybody ain't into that. You gotta talk to people from the down, dirty in the street, because people want fucking results. You know, they don't want all this other bullshit.
High in the sky.
Yeah, they don't want that. If you can't help them get results, it's like I said, remember Larry Winters had a tape or something out. His wife said, what's his wife's name? I can't. He said, well, who's your father's best son-in-law? You, Larry. Because you know Larry was a double diamond, was he a double diamond in Amway?
I think you're right.
Something like that. Took care of a lot of his stuff. He said, he said this, and when he said, if I help you build a diamond ship or get you out of your job and match your income, how much can we be friends? See, y'all sometimes I think we get the relationship quotient twisted. People, I'm gonna say this again. Y'all can like it or lump it. Business is about money. Yes, we go online to sell products and services. Okay? The products and services are for those who think it can help them with their businesses. We just don't market products and services just to be marketing them. We don't just be in business just to be business. We more on business to make money. Just like you go to a job to get paid. We have a business when we market and do things online. We do it to get paid. Okay? Indeed. We ain't here to dick around. I'm not going to sit up here and say that, oh, well, we're trying to build a relationship. Yeah, we can have a relationship. First of all, We gotta make revenue. We got bills and shit just like you do.
Mhm.
We just don't do them the same way. But you want to get mad because we make money online off of something that we helping you with. You don't mind going to the store and getting this and that from normal people. They make money from you doing something. Well, so what's the difference with us being online to sell you something? Why you don't have a problem going to Costco, Sam's Club, Giant Eagle, Vaughn, wherever the hell you shop at? They're there to serve you to make money. That's what we do. And yes, we here to make money. Ain't no shame in that game. If that's a problem to folks, to get off. Okay? But we're going to talk the shit that we need to talk to make you understand. Ain't nothing free.
No.
Nothing free.
Mm.
Okay? Even you listen to what we got. You had to take time out to do that. So we know nothing's free. We take time out on our Sunday to do what we do. Nothing's free. You either gonna pay time or money, or you're gonna pay both of them. And most of y'all ain't got neither one of them. With that being said, my name is Greg Smith. Every week we do this Sunset Sunday, try to give you some value. Sometimes we get really intense with the value. See, value don't always have to be a pie in the sky. Sometimes value got to be something to slap your side of the head and make you wake up and think, like what's going on now.
Yes,
Les
indeed.
Brown always said, you guys are going back to work tomorrow. Some of y'all took 5 days off, maybe some took 4. But either way, y'all stressing out if you got to go back Tuesday because you hate going back to that son bitch because you don't like your boss who like to micromanage you. That's why I quit my last job, because I hate people micromanaging me. Dr. Boyce Watkins said one time this guy hated his job so much that it took the testosterone out of his body.
Ew.
If a job is making you that fucked up, you need to quit it. A job taking the testosterone, it stressed him that much that he couldn't perform with his wife. Fuck that job. She gonna leave you anyway, whether you got money or not. If that job doing that, she gonna leave you anyway.
Right, right.
You got anything last words to say, Kent?
Well, folks, yeah, like Greg said, we got in our feelings, but hey, sometimes that's what's needed. So if you like it, share it out. Yes, going forward, Greg and I have have access to the tools to help you get your business going, help you learn skill sets to get your business to that other level. You can reach out to him, of course. You can reach out to me. We'll be here for you. We won't be holding your hand from birth to death, so to speak, but we will be there when you need us to help you learn the skill and develop our business to the next level.
Yeah, and that's all we are here to do. We're just here to share the
Did
information.
you freeze
that
up
we
again,
get.
Greg?
Huh?
Oh.
What was that? Are you freezing up too?
Yeah, I'm freezing up a little.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
with
we
that
both
being
freezing.
said, like I said, don't let a job put you in an early grave, because that's what it's done. And some people, like I said, you don't want the job to so you can't even perform for your wife. That's crazy. It just suck the testosterone out of that dude. No, they hell with their job. Really, that's crazy.
Man.
And you don't need that. Ain't no job that God, whoever you believe, will create a universe. Ain't nothing man has put on this earth worth that shit that had the testosterone sucked out of your system. And if you drop dead, they will have your damn job in the paper before they got your obituary. Mm-hmm. With that being said, my name is Greg Smith. It's Kent Robinson.
Yes.
Peace, people.
Sir.
Take care. Be safe in this crazy climate that we are living in. We don't know what's going on. We're getting the second half of the year. We still got time to get off that damn W2 shit. We out of here. Later.